Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II World at War with our Axis playthrough. In the last episode, we took care of basically the entire Russian front and generally everything that we had to do is Germany. Let's look at Japan now, here in November 21st, 1941. Having done our early Pearl Harbor, Japan is a nation of interest, running off of less income than Germany, but taking on theoretically more. Let's see what happens if we move the special forces around behind Honolulu. Where the hell did their plane go? It was right there, was it not? Does this mean that it's left? Well, there's a surefire way to find out. We'll take the Akagi carrier and have it try to bomb the Marine Division Special Forces. Oh, no, it's moved right over here to Hilo. Interesting. 1 damage to that, none to my carrier. Another 2 damage to that. 1 damage to the Special Forces, despite not technically... We weren't supposed to be able to do anything, basically. Can I change? Okay, wait, no. Ooh, wait, what? Cat mode? Cat mode. Cat mode. Ground. Fighters bomb. Okay, I can't change that these are fighters. But they only get like 1 escort, right? And if they're not here, then they don't technically matter. I think they're trying to run them away. Is what they're trying to do, but they can't really get any further from here, so I don't really know what the goal is there. If that's done, then the rest should just technically be able to bomb, and we can bomb over and over again. Let's try again with the Akagi carrier. What the fuck? It just said I had 9.5, 7.5 supply. I didn't know you could have half of a supply percentage. But it seems like every time I do a bombing strike, my supply goes down by half of a number. That's interesting. Let's try with the Soryu carrier next. All bombers and go. And again. Okay. We're at 68% readiness, 91% morale. I wonder if I can watch that changing. Or if we're just trying to get lucky with the actual bombing damage. Yeah, okay, it is shrinking down slowly because these carriers aren't meant for land bombing, but it is going down, and we have just so many of these strikes in our capability. Let's try the Hiryu carrier next. Yeah, went down by half. Oh man, oh nice. Okay, we're getting some good progress here on their readiness and morale, which is a big part of it. Supply for special forces, as we know, doesn't actually matter that much, but does still matter. Okay, that's everything except the Kaga carrier getting its bombings off. Only the first thing, only the first bombing actually got any kills, which is hysterical. They have 11 supplies, so they're well supplied. Let's go ahead and do a bombing, I suppose. Yeah. You know, I wonder if we moved here after landing, if we would technically secure the port. I do wonder. Let's drop you over here in the mountains. Some casualties upon landing, that's always great. I think we're already in a position of, what's it called? Being in a blitz attack, so let's just move here. Okay, no, that does not secure the port, unfortunately. We'll send the special forces around and do a bombing there, or an amphibious assault, more accurately. So their entrenchment is down by 2 now. Readiness and morale is at 45% each, and our attack odds are starting to go up. They do have some experience from being attacked, but 1 damage dealt, 2 damage taken. That's terrible. Attack again. Okay, nothing. We're gonna have pretty good supply here on these units, ports taken or not. This is gonna go down to 7 next turn. This is gonna go down to 10. That means both of them can actually just stay here and reinforce up to max, while continuously being supported by bombers, essentially. Looking at what we're going to do upcoming with Japan, I'm definitely going to go for the special forces here, these 8 strength ones that are way out here in the Pacific, more on where our front line could be considered to be. Long range amphibious transport for this one would be 64 MPPs. Let's go ahead and get that. That goes out into the port. Sometimes they don't always go out into the port, which is annoying. 199 MPPs. I think a lot of MPPs are going to go into this kind of stuff. Another one in the port. Okay, that's good. 135 MPPs remaining already because, you know, we're just not functioning with that many MPPs. Not until we retake this. 75 more per turn. Well, that's more than enough for another long-range transport per turn. Don't really know where these are going yet, but there's just so many targets over here that are of importance. Not to mention they could also go over here if needed and then support this takeover of Hawaii, which would be pretty good for establishing our naval dominance in the Pacific. MPPs are, yeah, they're going to be rough until we get these things to join me. For right now, there's just so many things to do, especially since I have to move things, units that aren't already there, into Thailand in mass right now. So let's start that. Don't really know how much we'll need in any given direction, but there's a couple things I want to move. I have, I believe, 3 armies, yes, all ready to head down there. And maybe some corps that would be good or well off heading down there as well. There's a nice amount of rail lines that can be used, although the whole stretch of them, not all of them have very good supply access. Oh, it doesn't matter. So long as the towns do, we can still reach the towns, no problem. So the Indochina Expedition Army, I'm going to send that right next to Bangkok. And it can take up a nice defensive location in this hill, next to a mountain and a jungle. Yeah, I don't think they're really going to get through there that easily. The enemies, if they tried to come down through here. There's also one of these HQs, the Hama and the Mutagashi. I almost said Mutagashi. We'll transport the Mutagashi. I need to make it speed up to get it all the way there. There you go. All the way down to Bangkok and unload there. And supply next turn will be vastly improved in Thailand. Oh my god. Very much so. However, depending on what direction this all moves in, you can only really push one front at a time like this. Either way, we have more stuff to potentially send down there. 76 MPPs only to work with. Thankfully, with the exception of this right here, there's nothing that really needs reinforcement this turn. So another operation, say the 21st Army from Henyang to the southwest of Bangkok, may be warranted. I mean, I already did it, so it better well be warranted. This could head down here towards Penang, which I don't believe I remember Malay spawning with much of anything. Or Singapore, thinking about it. I remember in real life there was a whole army that was here and was here to defend when the Japanese rolled in. And, you know, you had the Thai Royal Army assisting, then you had all the defenses here, and they all went to Singapore. But I don't remember actually getting much of any units to defend any of this with, so that one army really just might be enough, potentially. So let's look at the main front with China here. We want to do as much damage as possible surrounding Chongqing. Unfortunately, this army right here defending Chongqing proper is on the other side of a river. This 13th Army is not, but it's also not that important nor very well positioned for anything regarding Chongqing. However, they've moved into special forces, which is at half morale and readiness, half entrenchment, into fortifications that currently face us, but also face Chongqing on the side of the river Chongqing is on, right next to some of their fighters. This is the weakest unit in this whole blob that we can push through, and it's the one that's going to get us the best results, I think. So, let's start with the medium bomber. Because, wow. Okay, let's start with the medium bomber because it's the one that's gonna take the enemy fighter fire the best. So, and I also want to maybe push the tacticals to attacking this new 4th Army here, because that's the next thing kind of in my way to starting to pour my armies here in the northern front through. So let's try with that medium bomber on the Dare to Die Special Forces. Oh, yes, and there's 2 fighters. That's why I didn't just send fighters to attack fighters, because I can't send fighters with an escort of fighters. 3 total damage to their fighters. definitely reduced. Oh my god, the morale went from like 55% to 15%. Readiness from like 50% to 33%. That's crazy. We have 2 prepared attacks that we can use against them. Getting across the river. That's going to be a fun thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. If I kill this, I may still not be able to get across the river, realistically. But let's take the Central Expedition Army, who has just the best fighting capability of anybody over here, and start the attack. 6 damage dealt. The next hit will definitely work. The problem is, I don't know if, 3 action points might be needed to cross this river, if this would ever work at all. Let's go by the rules I know. Just going down the road is already 2 everywhere, even in fields. Therefore, that's because of the rain. So 1 to 2. So this would take 4 by itself, even with no zones of control. Potentially add a +1 due to the river being present. Potentially probably a +1 due to zones of control. So there is going to be no way actually across this fortification this turn. It just will not work. But I can still attempt to clear it out. So let's do that. And there we have it. I have cleared out this spot. And supply will be pretty good back here, to the point where it's way more feasible to stretch my lines out this way than this way. So I think I'll do that, actually. So we're going to move northwest this way. We're actually cutting off their lines just like that. Can I see into Chengdu? I can't really tell. The colors are not obvious enough to me to know if I can see into Chengdu. Probably not. I don't have anything that has line of sight that goes that far. Oh, I can't even go here if I wanted to because of the zone of control here. Meaning, oh god, yeah, no, movement here is fucking terrible. Central Expedition Army will move down here? That should work. Oh yeah, I mean, look at this. It looks like we can move here. So yes, and then yes. And then I move up here with this, but I can't accomplish anything with a fucking blitz. So that's fine. We just move up like so, kind of spreading our line out further to the west, reinforcing with the 3rd Army to the south. Not really sure what to do about this one. It is in fairly decent supply, and it could use some reinforcements, to be honest. 14 MPPs, that's down, 54. I can't set any more long-range amphibious transports out this turn anyway. I think I might as well just go ahead and reinforce him then, because these guys aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They need to clear this up. These guys need to clear this out. I mean, it's going to be probably clear for them. I don't think there's much else to kill. Still, this one at least needs to get in position. He can just use the opportunity for... Well, actually, no, that doesn't matter because that's next turn. Anyway, that's when I have more MPPs. Okay, well, there are more that can go places, but it's just not as important and wouldn't gain me as much as my current movements in China. Let's just go with that, and it's fine. It's okay. I just need more MPPs, and every step forward is some progress, maybe. Oh my god, Chung Kingsworth, 15 MPPs. That's a decent amount when you think about what our actual income is and how much certain amounts of it really add up to be. God fucking damn, this communist Chinese army doesn't even have anti-air. And my default tactical bomber that has, what? Ground attack weapons 1 upgrade would get hurt trying to bomb this. It might be accounting for a fighter intervening. Might be. Oh, these ones have 2 intercepts, escorts. Guess land might have different than naval. Huh, I don't know. Let's go ahead and do a bombing. That's not accounting for anyone coming to the defense. I don't know why. Look at this. It's still bad. We got the elite reinforcement out and it's like, nope, you're gonna suffer casualties. That's the difference between 2 elite reinforcements and 3 bits of expertise. Of experience, that might be a more accurate way to say that. It's army on army, 9 to 10. These odds are pretty decent. I can't really improve them necessarily very easily. Best thing I can do is try to do some damage right now. I could also just sit here and reinforce this one, but I can also like find a way to cycle it out potentially. we'll attack, because this prepared attack is a little hard to say no to. Okay, exactly as it said. They took 3 damage, and we took 1 damage, and we now have 8. And that's, I mean, not the greatest, but it's not the worst. We have such little movement capacity, almost nobody can get anywhere right now anyway. Supply would be good up there if I moved up there. It would be functional. It would 100% be functional. That was across a river too, huh? I'm like so tempted to just try to stretch this, like both move out, but also just swap to be more careful. And I'm really not sure which one I want to do. This could maybe cause some aggressive actions, but this is what I'd expect more from a player and not an AI, so I'm gonna try not to overestimate the AI. Plus, the damage that they could do, I don't think is gonna be good enough, given the fact that we are still 8 strength, 2 infantry weapons upgrades, and some experience points. I'm gonna move forward. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. It's not enough armies to do enough damage, which is why I'm so sure of what I'm doing. We're gonna move the 37th Army forward up to Sian. And look at that, we could do even more damage right now with a blitz attack coming up behind this army, reducing the chances of any big damage next turn. So let's do it. 3 damage dealt, none taken, so that worked out even better. No losses on this army at all. And the enemy army is gonna need to repair. Yeah, 100%. I'll move the 2nd Kwantung Army across the river. That might seem weird. Let me show you why. Supply stretches here to 5, which is decent enough. And even a blitz attack against the, oh my god, XLII. This started to use Roman numerals. I don't even know. What the fuck's an L? Whatever it is, we're gonna attack it. 3 damage dealt. None taken, okay. Not as good as promised, but no damage taken. I think that's the important part. Move the 17th Army forward as well down the road. And the 6th Army pushing a line forward that we're creating even across the river here. Our supply extends well enough to pull this off, if you ask me. We now have a much better array of targets of opportunity for this other tactical bomber. The army can be hurt real nice. The HQ can be hurt real nice. Don't know about some of these other things, but I think you got 5 supply. I'm gonna go ahead and go after that HQ. HQs are very hard to fix, and the lower in strength they get, I believe the lower their bonuses get, so let's try to land a shot on them. 2 damage dealt. Yeah, it's good to me. I mean, they're going to take some damage next turn if they stay an opportunistic target, even if this is at 8 strength. This should weaken them. We actually might be closer to taking Yan'an than I really expected. Yan'an is not worth a whole lot by itself, but at least plundering the communist Chinese might be pretty good, and it might collapse these supply lines behind all these Chinese units, who can then get crumpled over like I don't know what, but something that crumples. I'm gonna put the paratroopers out to transport. We're gonna send them down to Pakoi. Yeah, Pakoi sound good? Yeah, I think it does. Actually, Hanoi might make more sense, because I wanna fly drop him in over here. I was thinking of just landing at Pakoi, running up or trying to fly over, but Hanoi is so much closer. I can get right up in here where I want to send him. I do want to send him right here, because this front's kind of expanding and it needs a little bit more manpower. And with America in the war, I kind of want to have corps functioning in important locations that might need defenses still. And I'm not willing to go back on that because I'm still trying to test extending the capacity of this nation. So, supply, 6, why, oh, Hanoi just has a lot of supply. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. First Corps will just step off to the side here. And we'll take the paratroopers and send them here and land them at Hanoi. They could have just landed here, I guess. Set them to prepare. I cannot do that this turn, but they're in the correct location. So next turn, I can set them to prepare and get them up here where they would theoretically be needed sometime soon. I'll take the 3rd garrison of Nanning. I'm going to force march that forward to right here because it wants to watch these 2 points. These 2 are already being watched. So I think that's everything with Japan for this turn, really. There's more I'd like to do, but they don't have MPPs to do any of it. Let's look over towards Italy now, specifically Ethiopia. We know a corps ran away over in this direction recently, and the corps is actually just completely gone, apparently. Yeah, the HQ's up front now. the Platt HQ, which I could just run up to and deal 3 damage to immediately. Sure, 3 damage to a British HQ. 1 damage taken, that's some fucking bullshit. But it's what happened. I'm tempted to just move up and attack again, quite frankly, and not reinforce. Because if we can hunt down and eliminate this HQ and this other core, there's nothing but garrisons over here to really do any harm. I don't think Sudan starts out with anything on the capital. We could just roll up, take all of Sudan, and then maybe even push north and just like ignore this shit. Just push north. Connect with Cairo with the rail and everything. I don't know. We'll try it. I'll move forward. We'll attack again. Another 3 damage dealt. None taken this time. Where did that core go? It's completely gone. Must have run really far back, but with these action points, I think it's technically impossible for this HQ to get away from me. And that's without healing itself. If it actually tries to heal itself, things are going to be even worse for it. Now, I'm tempted to also move the HQ up behind my cores because that would probably be better. I'm not too excited on leaving this undefended, but I could just move this garrison, I guess, now. Yeah, so what does this do? Yeah, it changes this to 5 anyway. This is still 4, but it's better than nothing. I'll force march this down to the capital just to be sure that they don't snipe anything. Oh my god. These tanks. The British tanks. Dude, they're fucked. My injured bombers can hurt them. My injured bombers can also hurt other bombers. What the fuck? 3 damage potential on both of these armies that the tanks just ran into. That's hilarious. What the fuck? My injured core is just... Why hasn't this thing run away yet? What is going on? I don't know, but... My manpower may be a little stretched here, but... all things considered, it's looking pretty alright. I should take the opportunity to just kill this in one hit, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think I should. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, there it goes. 385 national morale bonus, baby. Let's reinforce this core up to full. Oh, Italy. You don't make, like, any MPPs. The Axis is so poor off for MPPs this entire game, dude. They're so much more difficult to play. So much. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So, yeah, well, with the depression here, this is immovable. It's impassable. I'll move the army, take this town. Oh, my God. 2 cores, a bomber, and a recon unit. Okay. Do I want to move up yet? I don't know. It's hard to say with this tank here to deal with. Dealing with a tank is pretty important. Let's go ahead and attack it with the 10th Army. 3 damage dealt, as expected. Alright. Should I do a bombing run? Yeah, sure, why not? Interceptors, I have those too, bitch. Eat mine. 2 damage dealt, none taken. 1 damage to this, no damage to that. Oh, that's cool. And voila! Enemy tanks deadified. Holy shit. Well, that's nice. So this is going to be an interesting series of movements I'm going to do, because we essentially want to shift everything here to the right, while expecting there's still maybe some more stuff down here. It could just be back here more, but that would be weird if it was. So I'm just going to imagine that it's actually down here somewhere. Imagining this being an extension of their battle lines. So, I mean, why else would the tank have been here, right? So let's move this HQ to here for now. Yeah, okay. Move the bombers up to here. Yes, that makes sense to me. The fighters can come over hither, hiding behind this hill. Something's gonna have to stay at Tobruk, and so I was gonna send this garrison here, but I'm thinking about it more, and I think I have a better idea. My idea is to basically take this core, put it on a transport, it's upgraded, move it down here, be much better defender of Tobruk, which is a very vital location down here. We could lose everything to the west of this and it would actually just be fine. Tobruk is It's just the closest, and it's defensible. There are no other ports here. There would have to be a way out, or we'd be trapped, you know? A player could try to take advantage of this, and AI might not. Definitely want to free up as many units as possible and keep everything as defensible as possible, so let's try that. Let's put this core on a transport. Let's try to move it down to Tobruk. And let's place it down there. 124 MPPs remaining. That's already like too much spent for a lot of research, but research comes last for Italy, really. Now from there, we can shift the 10th Army east, the 5th Army east. We can have the 3rd Corps go onto this hill. I don't think either hill really makes a difference, but onto this hill, there's better supply there. I don't expect anything to get up through here. That would be a bit of an impressive feat. I'll move the 1st Army forward. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, I'll move the tanks forward as well to... Oh, no, maybe not. I don't know. That might not be the smartest idea that I've ever had, because we've already attacked the tanks. I thought we didn't for a second. We just put them on this town, so it'll work out just fine. Now we have a nice little line coming through here. We'll attack these tactical bombers. Why not? 5 damage dealt, none taken, XP gained. I mean, that seems only good to me. Now we just have to wait and keep shifting east. They do have some upgraded cores here, but only cores around Alexandria and Cairo. And we have a good swarm of units and air support making its way over here. I think taking Egypt is only a matter of time. I don't even think the Turks need to get there. I think I like over-prepared. I think the Italians could have just done this by themselves. I think I will go ahead and do that. Just save the remaining MPPs mostly for next turn. Go ahead and land this bitch right here. And honestly, maybe nobody really needs to sit on Athens proper. Maybe someone can just, like, we just have the garrison sit right here. It's not a player. They're not gonna navally invade Greece. So I think I can just safely, you know, make that decision. I'll move the Bulgarian Corps. The Bulgarian Corps is probably gonna go somewhere else eventually. Maybe. I don't know. Right now it's fine. It could just operate somewhere else when it's needed. But that's fine. So Italy is already done. I've done their naval stuff already. Saving their MPPs. We have 406 German MPPs remaining. I have just absolutely so many ideas of how I could spend these MPPs to the point where I could spend thousands if you put them in front of me right now. But I think I know what I'm going to pick. That's probably going to end up being Hungary. Gonna probably get the tanks for them. Just maxed out from the get-go. Arrive April 20th. That's a little bit of a ways away. 329 MPPs. That's most of them that I can use right now. However, I see this as being one of my most lacking fronts for Germany. That's active and sustainable. So I'm going to make this purchase because if you disagree, I'm sorry, this isn't in real time. So there you go. And I'll explain why, however. It's because, as we see here, like with Romania, they got a corps, an army, tanks HQ. The HQ can kind of keep track of all that stuff. Doesn't even need to because the Germans are doing it for them. But the Hungarians, thus, could probably operate with an equal amount of troops. This is not counting fighters, but I do want to get fighters for the Hungarians as well. The Yugoslavians are a really good bonus over here, quote unquote, like additional support. But their HQ can't even actually control all of them. There's too many of them. However, all the Germans are really stretched out right now, and they're about to stop manning down here and all go up north, surrounding Moscow and filling in the defenses everywhere else against the main Russian force. There isn't a giant Russian force down here, but there's still some stuff. Some stuff that could use some versatility for, such as fighter cover, such as tanks, not just armies and, well, in Yugoslavia's case, corps. We're gonna go after things like Stalingrad. Whatever the hell you say this. Alternate capitals, potentially, with them. So they need more manpower, and even just one more tank and a fighter, I think, could help that. Maybe more stuff than that. So I feel like filling in with that tank is probably going to be a pretty good idea. Not sure there's too much more I can do with this. Like, I'd like to get another motor torpedo boat. We could definitely use it. And hey, we can exactly afford it. These would be pretty nice, because that whole destroyer situation, like we don't have enough escorts, they get attacked too quickly, and we then lose a lot of stuff in convoys because of that. So I think this would be pretty good as well. We already have enough garrisons to go around, so yeah, I think I'll do that. 7th Flotilla, let's go ahead and purchase that for Germany, use all their MPPs. Nothing else really that's static needs upgrades particularly right now. Everything else is good, garrisons are plentiful enough, can be replaced if ever that becomes a problem. Right now it's not a problem. Finland, like I mentioned, we don't have the MPPs to really turn Finland into a big front because we're managing all these other fronts, because I've set up Turkey. I got them into the war, got Yugoslavia in the war, and I really fucking upgraded them to make them mobile, to make this work and whatever comes else from that. So I think this is just the best use of MPPs. I haven't even bothered investing in Norway's defense because I just don't think I need to. But that's how I'm going to handle this at the time being. I think that's basically everything for this turn, but we're also out of time, so I'm going to end this here. On the next episode, we will end up going over into the next month, but I hope you're enjoying how this is going so far. I think we're getting really close to our goals. We're about to reach Moscow. We are outside Cairo. It's all coming together. Once these two things are taken, eventually that'll trigger an event where the allies just surrender. So most of the playthrough might be done by now. It'll be really interesting to see how this goes. For now though, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.